Hymns of Somahuti Bhargava in the tradition of Gritsamada from Mandala 2, Sukta 4, translated by Sri Aurobindo. I call to you the fire with his strong delights and his splendours of light, fire who strips all sin from us, the guest of the peoples. He becomes like a supporting friend. He becomes the God who knows all things born in the man, with whom are the gods. The Bhrigus, worshipping in the session of the waters, set him a twofold light in the peoples of man. May he master all planes, prevailing vastly, fire, the traveller of the gods, with his rapid horses. As men who would settle in a home bring into it a beloved friend, the gods have set the fire in these human peoples. Let him illumine the desire of the billowing nights. Let him be one full of discerning mind in the house for the giver of sacrifice. Delightful is his growth as if of one's own increase. Rapturous is his vision as he gallops burning on his way. He darts about his tongue mid the growths of the forest and tosses his mane like a chariot courser. When my thoughts enjoying him chant his mightiness, he shapes hue of kind as if to our desire. He awakes to knowledge in men that have the ecstasy by the rich diversity of his light. Old and outworn he grows young again and again. Like one who thirsts, he lifts his light on the forests. His roar is like the cry of waters on their path. He neighs like a chariot war horse. Black is his tail, burning his heat. He is full of rapture and awakes to knowledge. He is like Father Heaven, smiling with his starry spaces. He starts on his journey to burn through all wide earth and moves like a beast that wanders at will and has no keeper. Fire with his blazing light and his black affliction assails the dry trunks with his heat, as if he tasted the vastness. Now in our minds return on thy former safeguarding. Our thought has been spoken in the third session of the knowledge. O fire, give us the treasure with its children. Give us a vast and opulent plenitude where the heroes assemble. To the luminous wise ones, and to him who voices thee, O fire, be the founder of their growth and expansion. that the Gritsamadas, strong with the strength of the heroes, and overcoming the hostile forces, may conquer the higher worlds by thy force, and take delight of the secret inner spaces. That something is completely uncaused and unconditioned means that there's an absorption of instantiation to truth in self-law, that the current of course is alive in the source and communion, plenty and poverty, the directness of the energy, the directness of the harmonious participation, the symmetrical concentration, the dhyan, the attention and meditation and communion, to the seat and source and thrall of its own cause in itself, which is living, vibrant, unalienated, undenied, and founded. And so inhabiting in its own degree a plant, an organism, a life, in its own measure, in its own undivided participation of fulfillment, integrates, focalizes, gives the current of reality's reality to be fuel and source and communion and cause, exclusive and integrating fulfillment of entire and universal dimension of aptitude and engagement. And it does so being a truth beyond all accidents of limitation and self, that comprehends all shadows of their forming. And so, I call to you the fire, with his strong delights and his splendors of light, its own delight, its own splendor of undivided, energetic, resident and present, supplying and irradiating seat and soul of full association and center. I call to you the only efficient communion of cause and transfer of agency, awakening to liberation in the uncaused cause, of conception, intuition, disclosure, horizon and realm, energy and issue, life and communion of competence of cause enlivened. I call to you the fire with his strong delights and his splendors of light. Strong because those delights are all energetic, all comprehending, all surpassing, and thus awoken, enlivened to that measure of fire, who strips all sin from us, all mediated dimensions of entanglement, in the provenance of counsel, seat, and source, and soul, and center, the guest of the peoples. This which is given as companioning course, companioning presence, companioning taste, liberation of the full ecstasy of the fulfillment of self and the self-law, to the heart, to the truth of integral and pious realization and combining. For thus, being like the priest that guides with the light, being like the friend with its true companionship, having the full essence of love, he becomes like a supporting friend. He becomes this truth of divine measure, the God who knows all things born in the man, with whom are the gods. The Bhrigus, worshipping in the session of the waters, set him a twofold light in the peoples of man. In this condition of process, in this session, this occasion of manifestation, in this alive and essential worship and witness, this that acts as light, illuminant, and energy for cause and manifestation, eminence, undivided own reality of living truth, has been awoken in this tradition to this full, comprehending pivot of place of awakening unto realizing truth and non-duality's measure. May he master all planes prevailing vastly, all dimensions, all currents, be shadows in the vibrancy of his life and communion and call of witness, speaking to ourselves in our intuitional seat and source of haven and center. Fire, the traveler of the gods, with his rapid horses. As men who would settle in a home, bring into it a beloved friend, wanting to make a residence your own, wanting it to be one with the foundation of your being and entirety and eternity, so the true association that can make it that can companion you, has been set as this access, as this pivot, as this efficient and universal uncaused voice of agency and center, by the truth of all divine dimensions, in the heart and essence of humanity's station. As men who would settle in a home bring into it a beloved friend, the gods have set the fire in these human peoples. Let him illumine the desire of the billowing nights. Let the desire of being, of instantiation, of the root of the eclipse of all dimension, be voiced and enlivened and energized in this communion and presence and recollection of cause. Let him be one full of discerning mind in the house for the giver of sacrifice. For that which contains horizon is one with the energy of horizon, is one with the self-radiance of horizon, is one with the sufficiency and comprehension and end in itself of unalienated witness and bounds enlivened. So this access and witness and companion and pivot and seat and source and way has to awaken the truth of mind, of the supernal mind beyond accidents of mind, of the end in itself, in the house for the giver of sacrifice. And hence, awakening this full affiliation, past accidents of own reality in supernal truth of solution and center, so delightful is his growth, as if of one's own increase. The full attainment of the universe in the plant becomes everything the plant could fathom or follow or be, and its taste is of and yet surpassing all aspects of its own. Delightful is his growth, as if of one's increase. Rapturous is his vision as he gallops burning on his way, leading the communion and horizon and wedding equalization unconditionally deeper. He darts about his tongue, his balance of present tasting, mid the growths of the forest, and tosses his mane like a chariot courser. When my thoughts, enjoying him, chant his mightiness, he shapes hue of kind as if to our desire. What is being done right now? What this articulation is rooting and seeing founded is not something that is put on, is not something that is contrived, is not something that is administered, but the universal beatific end in itself of quiring bliss, harmonization, enjoying of the truth of the supernal, only voices, only is taste, only is participated, only is raised in that choir of unsullied love, in that choir of intoxicated praise, which in that praise gives the archetype and the archetype the solution of the fulfillment of manifest mind in the truth of uncaused mind, and gives everything to the communion of the full horizon and instantiation and limit of its desire, and hence is such satiation and communion and fulfillment of course to be roused and awoken. When my thoughts enjoying him chant his mightiness, he shapes hue of kind as if to our desire. He awakes to knowledge in men that have the ecstasy by the rich diversity of his light, pure and manifold, alive to full degree and dimension of presence, not distant, but present life and life, beyond aspect of claim in its own cause. Old and outworn, he grows young again and again, unimposed, unimpeded. He is beyond aspect of limitation at every presence and witness of bearing and forming, eternally new, eternally alive, and only to be joined in the truth and soul and witness that transports beyond all accidents and dimensions to its heart and seat and source and soul in time. Like one who thirsts, desiring for the fulfillment of this universal process, he lifts his light, the purpose of continent and universal illumination, on the forests. His roar is like the cry of waters on their path. He neighs like a chariot war horse. He is the full roar of process. He is the superseding impurity of the branched happenings in those happenings. He is the charge of the vehicle in the direct heart of manifest current, containing all these aspects at the heart of all these things. Black is his trail, burning his heat. He is full of rapture, and he awakes to knowledge, knowledge and knowledge. The ripple is overcome by the own reality of the water. He is like Father Heaven smiling with his starry spaces, and to the full course of instantiation, no matter this roar, this firing, this neighing, this churning, the peace of the eternal containing all in its unvaried true nature and parentage, smiles assured to the truth of the fibre beyond time. He starts on his journey to burn through all wide earth and moves like a beast that wanders at will and has no keeper. Finding himself here and here, he is unrestricted, alive and present, in the equalization, undiminished and unimpeded by his own degree. He starts on his journey to burn through all wide earth and moves like a beast that wanders at will and has no keeper. Fire with his blazing light and his black affliction assails the dry trunks with his heat, as if he tasted the vastness, eating up even the roots of these trees in this forest. This purge, this eternal communion, this choir tastes the unlimited. In its true reality is unparted from the unlimited, in full access of solution and founding. Now in our minds return on thy former safeguarding. Our thought has been spoken in the third session of the knowledge. The identity of the intuition of the mind and mind, comprehending and coming at heart and home in the thought. O fire, give us the treasure with its children. Give us this complete residence and bliss and fulfillment of access and all the true children of these parents through all the course of operation founded. Give us a vast and opulent plenitude where the heroes assemble, this communion to this which alone becomes the resolving source of heart and majesty. To the luminous wise ones and to him who voices the O fire. For there is no other access. If there was not this symmetry of churning beyond the dimensions, in the truth of those dimensions, a live access, a live recollection, a live reconciliation and resolution and fulfillment, integrity and integrity, life and life, could not be communed and delivered and founded. But as it is there, the unparted full truth of association and enlivenment can transport beyond the accidents of form to this life within life in us founding. To the luminous wise ones and to him who voices the O fire, be the founder of their growth and expansion in your undying truth of assumption and state. That the Gritsamadas strong with the strength of the heroes, and overcoming the hostile forces, may conquer the higher worlds by thy force. Come archetype in archetype, truth and truth, wisdom and wisdom, and take delight of the secret inner spaces, this full inhabitation of the Gnostic entirety to the secret of secrecies, communing to the fibre of all station and founding.